Boom. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another TGIM episode of the Stoop Radio Show. Coming to you live from blogtalkradio.com from beautiful downtown Langhorne, Pennsylvania. I'm your host, Jeff the Shark Perini, bringing you some more great action. And with me shortly, I was going to say with me as always, with me shortly will be the wonderful Miss Jewel Tatey. A little behind at the moment, she's working out some kinks on her end from a new location. So Jewel's working on that. And meanwhile, I will sit here and I'll talk your ear off while I drink several beers. We got a terrific show tonight. We are so glad to be back. If you were here, great show. Emily Tate from the band Till Death Do Us Part, all the way from Scotland. It's a new Stoop record. Emily Tate, the daughter, of course, of Queensryche legend Jeff Tate. She was here. We talked about her band, played some songs. It was her first ever interview, and she nailed it. She was perfect. Got to learn something about the band, got to learn about her relationships with her dad and singing with her dad and her music career. That was absolutely awesome. Once again, we thank Emily Tate. Truly something I was fan geeked for and excited, and it was worth every minute of it. We thank her for coming on. Tonight, as always, the Stoop likes to go with a different kind of feel. We like going with creative artists. We like going with new people. We like going with up-and-comers. And tonight we got a internet and YouTube sensation. This guy is a treat, an absolute treat. He's a kind of a local, if you will. Troy David Hendrickson is our very special guest tonight. For those of you who are fans of his and have watched his videos and his Facebook, etc., you will know him as Delco's finest, Delco's mom. You might know him as Aunt Mary Pat DiSabantino. He's got the multiple personalities and characters. He's hilarious. He's Troy David Hendrickson. He's going to be with us tonight on the Stoop. He's here around 8:30. Where the hell is Jewel Tatey? There she is. Jewel, welcome back. We didn't get you Wednesday. We were worried about you here tonight, but you're back with us. You just got done raving about your new internet connection, and poof, it cut you off.
I'm sorry about that. Again.
Hey, no problem. Jewel is with us. We're happy to have you. We missed you profusely Wednesday. It was not the same without you. You missed a great show. You would have loved Emily. It was terrific. But you're with us here now, and that's what matters.
Yeah. How we doing, Jeff? How was your week?
It was great. Tedious, but good. My work grind as we continue to try and make Stoop my full-time job, because my regular full-time job sucks ass. How about yours? How about your week? I know you did some moving and shaking. You got a lot going on, some new opportunities, some new residents, all kind of great new stuff. Tell the folks that missed you since last Monday. What's up? What's going on?
Oh, yeah. Well, firstly, I'm sorry, but I'm not a resident of Philadelphia anymore. But I'm right outside. And that's, next to the best, isn't it? If you can't be in Philly, be in more in Philly suburbs, because Philly's just awesome. And I love being close to home, but Philly is not my home anymore. And moving sucks. I figured it out, and this is my 16th time moving in my life. So, yeah, we all know moving sucks. So.
Wow, 16 times. I did it like 5, and I think it blows. 16. Gracious.
College was rough.
That's true. Also, of a college student. I know tonight's a big night for you. This is one of your favorite people tonight, Troy David Hendrickson, Aunt Mary Pat DiSabantino, and Miss Troy, and the whole 9 yards. I know it's definitely your thing. How excited are you for tonight? Are you stoked?
I'm so freaking excited. Are you excited?
I'm pretty excited.
I just went to Wawa. I brought my hoagie and my smokes, and I'm so freaking excited. He is hilarious. He's doing big things. He's getting recognized everywhere. I'm so excited. He's got a huge fan following already, and I'm so excited to talk to him tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. It is. We're doing a Stoop first again As you know, Emily Tate was her first ever interview last Wednesday, and this is Troy's first appearance anywhere tonight. So before he makes his big TV debut Wednesday, which we'll talk about later, we got him here first tonight. So we like debuting people. It's going to be great. He doesn't seem nervous. I'm sure he's going to be fantastic. He's got a lot of people that are followers of his. I'm going to say hers. Well, his, hers. He does a little bit of both. So it's going to be great stuff.
Depends on the day.
Yeah, it depends on the day. We got a lot to talk about later on in the show. Concert events coming up that me and Joe are going to be going to. A guest we're trying to get on the show. We're really hoping to get one or both of these guys. We'll talk about all that a little bit later. But first, we're going to do one of our staples, top five list, where Joel and I pick a subject, and we get to let you know a little bit about our likes and tastes. Tonight's subject, kind of in honor of our guest, Troy David Hendrickson, it's top 5 actors, actresses, or comedians with a very special gimmick or a very special shtick, if you will. Something that makes them stand apart from the regulars, things they do very special, whether it be personality traits, characters, anything of that nature. Things that separate them from the rest. Jewel, leave it up to you. Do you want me to kick it off? Would you like to kick it off?
I'm really interested in what you have to say. I'll let you go first.
All right, I'm going to go first, and I am going to start off with number 5. And with number 5, I went with my all-time favorite impressionist. This guy does impressions. He does them great. It's Mr. Frank Caliendo. This guy is hilarious. He does a lot of the great sports impressions. He does presidents. He does people in the news. He is hysterical, and I love him. I love his impressions. A lot of people say, Rich Little was the king of it. He might have been, but people just perfect it now, and Frank Caliendo is amazing. He is my guy, number 5. Number 4, Carrot Top. And Carrot Top was big when he first came out with props. Did a lot of props and a lot of, jokes hidden into his props. Really neat stuff. Of course, he used to do that little bit where he used to tie his hair up and say he was Wendy's from Wendy's. And he used to drive into the drive-thru and tell the people, Wendy's is here. Great stuff. Carrot Top, number 4. Yeah, I loved him. Number 3, the screaming comedian Sam. Who didn't like Sam and his big mouth screaming? Ow, ow! Separated Sam from everybody else with that loud screaming. You know what I mean? That thing just made Jewel jump out of her seat. Sam Kinison, number 3. Number 2, going way back, the unknown comic. That's right, a comedian used to wear a brown paper bag over his head and cut out little eye slits and tell great jokes. He was hilarious. A few years later, he came out, and disclosed his actual self. But for years, as the unknown comic, great stuff. That's number 2. And number 1, of course, the produce smashing annex of Gallagher. That's right, folks. It was his big thing. He was a smasher of produce and products, soaking the crowd in mess. Got out the big mallet and smashed things. That was his thing, man. Gallagher. His big gimmick, and that was my number 1. Great top 5 of us. I was very excited to lay that out. I'm very excited to hear what Jewel Taney has for us on her top 5 list.
Oh, geez. Yeah, good list. Most of mine are, of course, Saturday Night Live. I love Saturday Night Live so much. But number 5 has to be Jim Brewer. I'm so sad I missed him because he was just here at the Parks Excite Center. But his characters were great. I mean, who doesn't love Goat Boy? And who doesn't love all of his characters? Because he's high off his ass every movie he has done. And the kicker was he never even smoked. He's not a pot smoker, but he was always that token, stoner guy. So we love Jim Brewer here. Number 4, freaking Kate McKinnon. I love her. She is just the next. She can do no wrong. She does Ellen. She does Justin Bieber. She does everyone. She is just such a character actress. And, oh, my God, her. Well, sorry, I can't talk tonight. Hillary Clinton was spot on. She's just hilarious. Love that lady. Number 3, probably the king of characters, but it has to be Jim Carrey. Between getting truly, madly into character with Andy Kaufman, The Mask, Jesus, Ace Ventura, he's just number 1 in a lot of people's books. So, the man, Jim Carrey. Number 2, I had the pleasure to see him live at Penn State. Will Ferrell does Harry Carey, Robert Goulet. I love Will Ferrell. I love Ron Burgundy. I actually came on stage as Ron Burgundy when I saw him live, and it was probably one of the greatest moments of my whole life.
His
And
Harry Carey.
number one,
His Harry Carey is hysterical. Not to cut you off, but it is hysterical.
Okay. Oh, man. And number one, my girl, Kristen Wiig. I mean, I just look at the woman and I laugh. All of her characters are so spot on. Shut it. She does Kris Jenner. She does Lana Del Rey. She has her own made-up character. Like, she is just a piss. I love her in anything she does, and she's my number one.
All right. That was some list, and we kind of stuck mostly stuck with comedian, which was cool. But again, it's they all have their own little individual things that make them special. So let's rehash the list. Number 5 for me, the great impressionist Frank Caliendo. Number 4, Carrot Top and all his prop comedy. Number 3, the big mouth roar of Mr. Sam Kinison. Number 2, the unknown comic, and number 1, of course, the produce smashing antics of Gallagher. Jules' top 5 list, the hilarious Mr. Jim Brewer. Number 4, Kate McKinnon. I love that Bieber. It's hilarious. It really is hilarious. Especially that Jeopardy. You ready to go? He does that little sideways thing. It's hilarious. Number 3, Jim Carrey, of course, the master of faces and the master of disguise, and just a real funny, quirky guy, Jim Carrey. Number 3. Number 2, one of my absolute favorites, Will Ferrell. That guy's funny and everything. There's people out there that don't Will Ferrell. I don't get that. It's like not liking your mother. I don't get it.
What?
And number one, the person I had on my list, she was in the top 7 billion, Kristen Wiig. She was like number 7 billion in my top 7 billion.
You're so mean. Why don't you like her?
I find her so unfunny. I think I'm funny, and that's not saying much.
Oh my God.
Although I have been drinking bugs tonight, so maybe that's part of the problem. Word to the wise, people. Word to the wise. If you've got a nice little bar set up at home and you take a glass off the top shelf, make sure there's no bugs in it. Delicious.
My drink is bug-free tonight. And in honor of Miss Troy and Aunt Mary Pat, I have me some shots of Fireball. I'm so freaking excited. Exciting. I can't do it. I can't do it. How can I not do a Delco accent? I mean, mine's too northeast, I think.
I'm not going to mention to him about. He had this little Facebook spat with a good friend of mine and her son about his Philly accent, and it was like a little Facebook war. And I mentioned it to her, and she's like, "Oh my God!" So I'm not going to mention it to him when he comes on. Let's just
discrepancies between accents, or is that what it was?
Yeah, because I can't I can't do any accent. A lot of people tell me, like, out of town or something, I have a Philly accent. I have no idea what that even means. So.
See, when I went up Penn State, they're like, "What are you, from the South?" I'm like, Southeast PA. What the hell are you talking about?
Well, it's funny because up that way, like the Pittsburgh area, they have a unique accent.
Oh, yeah. What do they say? They say pop, and do they say used? I thought they say used a lot, too. Used guys.
Used. They got a little bit of a twang. Twang.
Pittsburgh twang.
I got a twang in my pants.
My niece just came back she's on spring break, and she goes to college in Pittsburgh. And, yeah, they do talk different out there.
Yeah, it's very unique. I just got a picture, I haven't heard from this guy in quite a while. Guy I used to work with, and it's amazing. He's drinking out of the same exact glass. My old work buddy, Mr. Bob Diaz, just sent me a picture that says Scotch and Molson Ice. And he's got my same glass. It's almost like he's in my house. It's a little scary. He's drinking out of the same exact Pilsner glass as I am. It's great stuff.
Oh, weird. It's just a Monday. I'm crashing with my brothers. Big shout out to Jay and Chrissy for letting me crash for the week.
Yeah, Jay and Chrissy.
Yay. It's just been like a big party. They had the big snow party, and then we're going to have another party in like 2 days when this nor'easter hits us again. We lost power. It's just been nuts. But, we decided to make like Jello shots and have freaking Fireball tonight. So it's just a good time.
There's always room for jealous shots and fireball. And I tell you what, speaking of which, we're going to discuss this. I might want to make my way up there Wednesday. We're supposed to get clobbered here in the East Coast. The latest I read from ABC's Adam Joseph is 8 to 16 inches of snow on Wednesday. Sounds like beer day to me. What do you think?
It's definitely beer day. Definitely a day load drinking day. Fine by me.
I'll probably be stuck working until the 15th inch falls. So, I guess I'll drink when I get home. But yeah, it's supposed to be insane. They're talking winds of 40 to 45 miles an hour. They're talking super heavy, wet snow. They're talking cold conditions. They're almost guaranteeing power outages. I mean, are you ready for this round?
No, we're definitely going to lose power again. And you know what, though? We had so much fun when the power went out Friday. It was just me, Mike, and the baby, and we had some, deep conversations, and we played some board games. No cell phones at all to distract us. I mean, we didn't even have data. That's insanity.
Wow.
But, no, it was cool. We had our candles going, and we ate some pork and beans, and it was a good time. So, whatever. Get that quality family time in, people.
Yeah, absolutely. I got home Friday night to no power. A certain wife of a certain host of this show, I'm not going to mention their names, was in an absolute panic. We got no power. The cell phones are going to die out. What are we going to do? So I took my usual resource. I said, grab your phone, grab your charger, get dressed, and we're going out. We went to the Huonville Inn. Big thank you to the people at the Huonville Inn, by the way. We all plugged in all of our phones and made sure we got our charge built up. We had some beers. We had some grub. We packed in around 10 o'clock. We got home. Boom, power was on. Pico was talking 5 o'clock Saturday. We got home Friday night and we had power.
Wow. That's when ours came back, 5 o'clock Saturday. So you're lucky.
Yeah, very lucky. I mean, I got the time of load on at the local bar. Got my eat on. I ate meat on Friday, even though it's Lent. But you know what? If God punished me with no power, I got to pay him back by eating meat on Friday.
Man, I always forget about the no meat. Unless you're in Catholic school or people are constantly reminding you, I always forget. Maybe I have to look on Facebook more on Fridays. Not have that turkey sausage, egg, and cheese in the morning.
I struck out the last 2 weeks. A week before, I went to a little gathering, and they had all kind of Italian meats, so I had to partake. Oh, me. Okay. I thought I was done. But I was talking about meat and all my Italian meats and cheeses on Friday, which is supposed to be Lent. It's like Italian meats and cheese.
So what do you think about the Phils being back on?
The Phils?
Kind of preseason, isn't it? Is it not?
They suck. They are terrible. They are terrible so far this year.
They're up right now. It's 1-0. What are you looking at?
Well, that's the first. I think they've won maybe 3 of their 20 preseason games so far.
Really?
Now, my man Reese Hoskins had a big home run today. I'm going to be excited. I'm going to watch. I love my teams. Heartbreak last night watching those Sixers. That was painful. Sixers had a pair of 20-point leads and still ended up losing by 8 to the Milwaukee Bucks. That's painful. And the Flyers, they stunk up the joint this weekend, too. Well, not a great weekend to be a Philly sports fan.
No.
But, I watch,
right.
I follow.
It's all right. It's going to bring, spring is going to be good. I have a good feeling.
Yeah, that's terrific. Listen, all those announcers are
terrific.
Yeah, all those announcers are like, it's great to be a fan of Philadelphia right now. And then, of course, we get smoked in both games. So. It's my ass announcers.
Happy.
But the one thing that was good about watching the Sixers game last night is that I didn't have to watch the god-awful, shitty Oscars. That's right. The Oscars, the 98th Academy Awards were held last night. And and it had a few memorable moments. Frances McDermott kind of stole the show. I don't know if you call that big backstage kiss with her and Gail Gadot or Gail Gadot or whatever Miss Wonder Woman's name is. Like, she laid one right on her lips. Yeah. And Tiffany Haddish may have secured her spot as next year's host. Now
she's funny. I like that chick.
I caught very little sporadic here and there. But did you watch? Did you tune in? What did you think?
No, I was working, but I did watch the highlights today, and from what I hear, it was a little much with the men bashing. With this Me Too and Time's Up, I mean, I'm all for it. You know, there's two movements, but yeah, it just seemed like a gender war, if you will. Like, it was like men against the ladies. So they were trying to like bring about points, but I think some of it got lost. So we'll see how it pans out. But these award shows are getting to be a little much.
They're going to be a lot of much. It's getting a little carried away with all these different stands. The one woman, I can never remember her name. She's from Empire. Is it Taja Henson? What is her name?
Taraji P. Henson.
Yeah. Apparently was laying out Ryan Seacrest on the red carpet. Like, laying him out. Like, calling him out on his shit and all. I mean, it you know, like, there's courtrooms, there's law, there's judge, there's jury, there's jailer. Show up at your award show. You know, you're there for your talent, not to speak up against everyone and everything. It's nice to have a stance. It's nice to, you know, unite. But to sit there and be a solo person just yapping it out and calling somebody out is a little unnecessary, I believe. And I don't know about you.
Yeah, and who is the one? God, I always forget her name. But she said, she was like 70, what's it called, the presenter, and she said, these men and Gwyneth, whatever is her name, like, she just grouped all the men together in the same category, even though they had nothing to do about anything. Like, Ryan Seacrest, I think he was accused of sexual misconduct or something like that.
Yeah.
But she just grouped like a whole group of men together and then said the woman. And then someone made a point about, oh, well, you know, there's only been so many female directors, blah, blah, blah. That's not the men's fault. I mean, they're winning an Academy Award. Like, they obviously have done something, and they didn't do anything to deserve, like, being dismissed, like, these men over here. So, I don't know. It's kind of weird.
Did you catch the very popular meme and the very popular web buzz behind the face of Jennifer Gardner?
No, I saw the Meryl Streep one. What was it, Jennifer?
I don't know. She's in the middle of clapping, and she's clapping, and she has this look of horror on her face. And, like, you got to see it because everybody is up in arms about what did she see or what did she think of. And, of course, you know, all the memes come out of, you know, she's clapping this, oh, shit, did I turn off the iron? And, like, all kind of, like, different things she could have been panicking about. It's very funny. Dying to find out what the face was because she went ruined, like, this blank stare of, like, shock or fear almost. It was weird.
Oh, man. No, I have to look that up. They were comparing Meryl Streep to the fairy godmother. They said that's who she looked like.
Jerry Seinfeld said it best. That Meryl Streep's such a phony baloney. Not a big fan.
Oh, geez. You know,
coming up on
Jerry.
Coming up on the stoop in 2 weeks, Meryl Streep, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Yeah. That'd be some shit, wouldn't it? Emma Watson. She displayed some new ink at the Vanity Fair Oscar party, but social media users pointed out the tattoo's glaring grammatical error. Leave it to, you know, the geniuses of the social media world. The Harry Potter star showed off a tattoo that read, "Time's Up," on her arm. Clearly missing the apostrophe for the organization Times. So basically it was Times without the apostrophe. It was not immediately clear if the tattoo was real. People reported the tattoo could be temporary. Is there anything worse than a tattoo that's misspelled or has grammatical errors? And did you think it's real? I didn't see it, but is it real or is it just like
I don't know. I mean, it looks real. Like, when you get a tattoo and it has that just, like, sheen about it because you have to keep it, like, lotioned up. It was right smack dab in the middle of a forearm, and it was big. And, yeah, it's clearly, like, not right grammatically. So, I don't know. I mean, that's really embarrassing if it is. But I can't see this being a real tattoo. I don't know. She's, like, a really... I don't know. She just seems like really preppy, and to have that huge tattoo of Time's Up, like I just think it was like a statement henna piece, if you will. So maybe it'll wash off in a couple days. We'll see.
And she's hot. She's hot.
She's
Harry Potter.
not.
Harry Potter. The magic I'd be doing was trying to make her clothes fall off. That'd be the magic I'd be doing if I was Harry Potter.
Oh my
That's
God.
with my magic wand. I bet Harry Potter's got a magic wand for her. Harry Potter's got a magic wand for her, I'm sure.
Producto. That's all I got.
You know, the more beer that goes down, the better the jokes get, folks. Stick around for the next half hour. Troy David Hendrickson is our very special guest. He's going to be joining us in a few minutes, and we're going to be asking him all kind of stuff. He's into characters and voices, impressions, drag. He's great. Funny dude. And this is his first ever appearance on any show of any sort. World premiere. You like that? That's our new world premiere sound effect.
World
you know what's better?
premiere.
I got to tell you, Wednesday night's episode, as much as I loved Emily Tate, it's just not the same doing it by herself because there's nobody to laugh at my ridiculousness.
No. What'd you do without me?
I talked very serious. Like, I listened to myself afterwards. I'm like, who is this guy? I'm like, yes, well, thank you for joining the Stoop. And in today's stock market, and I'm like, who the hell is this guy? Sucked Wednesday night. I sucked.
No one to get drunk with.
That's right.
What are you drinking tonight?
I am drinking Wells Banana Bread beer. And I'm drinking out of my fancy Pilsner glasses. I love these, the real slender cylinder type ones. Wells Banana Bread is the perfect little hint of banana bread type taste. Little sweetness, but it's all beer. And it's only 5.5%, so it goes down rather easily, and it's enjoyable. It's one of them things, like if I'm in the mood for quite a few, as you can tell I've already had, bingo.
Wow.
Yeah, what do you got there?
Have a banana drink. I don't know.
Mm.
I like flavored beer. I mean, granted, I've never given enough a shot, but I don't know. Banana in my beer? Come on, man.
I'm telling you,
that's crazy.
You drink this and you will fall in love with it. It's like right on. It goes down smooth as silk.
You know what I got?
Jules got the colossal ghetto edition can of Miller High Life.
Hey, it's a champagne of beers, and it is a 32-ounce can, and I will finish it in 5 minutes.
5. I give it 4. The champagne of beer in my refrigerator still.
Well, you never, have parties.
That's not my fault. There's a certain wife around here. It's up to me. I'd have a party every weekend. Single mingles.
Hey, St. Patty's Day coming up.
Parties. That's right. St. Patty's. I ain't gotta have that in my house. You gotta go out.
No.
Hasn't been St. Patty's Day until some
out.
Irish girl. Hasn't been St. Patty's Day until some Irish girl throws up on your shoe.
Nope.
Been there, done that.
Where you going for St. Patty's?
No, fuck do I know.
Wherever the wind takes me.
Yes, that's way too much planning. The following week after St. Patty's Day is Beer Fest. God, can you imagine if they made Beer Fest on St. Patty's Day? Holy Jesus Moses.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah, it'd be something. Yeah, flat out disaster. Carry me out on a stretcher, which they almost do every year. Anyway. We gotta fix that audio. I'm double talking. There's only one thing. There's only one thing worse on the Stoop than hear me once, and that's hear me twice. Let's get ready, folks. It's time for our very special guest. We are ready to laugh and crying with our very special guest, Troy David Hendrickson. Troy, good evening, and welcome to the Stoop Radio Show.
Hey, guys. How are you?
How you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
We're doing excellent.
Good.
We got a little audio difficulty, so you're going to hear a little bit of kind of an echo. So just bear with us if you don't mind.
Oh, no worries.
Awesome. So welcome, man. Welcome to your first ever interview. We're really thrilled to have you.
Yeah, I'm very happy to be talking to you guys. It's very exciting. Or as Aunt Mary Pat would say, it's very exciting, you guys. Thanks for having me.
Love it.
Awesome stuff. So let's get right to it. How did you discover your knack for comedy? And did you always come up with different characters, or did you just start off with just like kind of joke telling, or was it always like a character thing?
Oh, yeah. So I actually went to Cap Callaway School of the Arts, performing middle school and high school. So I've always kind of been involved with something. And my parents are characters. Mary Pat actually is based off my mom.
Okay.
And I made a joke with her. I was like, it's kind of funny that my biggest success so far would be imitating my mother, for fun. But, yeah, I guess I've always had it, I've always kind of done this sort of thing, joking around and imitating people. I've kind of creatively have always done best by impersonating people. That's always been the most fun for me. But, yeah, it's always been sort of character-driven, always been, in either creating my own characters like Mary Pat or impersonating celebrities. I've done Caitlyn Jenner. I've done Sarah Sanders Huckabee. I've done Melania Trump. It's always been, these kind of polarizing figures and impersonating them.
Awesome.
Oh my goodness. So did you try out Aunt Mary Pat before you brought her on YouTube and brought her to the masses?
No. So the first video I made, it was all done in one take. I had this old wig lying around, and I put on these fake lashes I had, and the pink lipstick. I called my mom, and I talked to her right before I did the video because I had this idea in mind. So it was the day after the Eagles won the Super Bowl. So go Eagles.
Awesome.
Go Eagles, as Aunt Mary Pat would say. And my mom actually went to Modell's right after the Eagles won. And I called her, and I was like, hey, what are you doing? She's like, hey, hon, I'm at Modell's. They got T-shirts on sale, so I'm buying them up. And only my sister would be at Modell's at midnight on, Sunday, and be buying T-shirts. So after I talked to her, I was like, I have to make this character. I have to do this. And so I talked to her for like 5 minutes, and then just recorded the video, uploaded it, and I never expected, it kind of to take off the way it did.
That's great stuff. Did you realize the impact that, the following you would have after the Eagles win? The Iggles, I should say. Did you realize that, the timing was perfect?
I just kind of thought, it's the best moment for this type of character. But obviously, this Delco mom to really have the moment because the Eagles, the Super Bowl was such an iconic win. It was so monumental. So I was like, oh, this would be great timing for this type of character because, like I said, it's based on my mom, and I know how she was jazzed that the Eagles won. But
yeah.
I never expected it just kept growing and growing, and it was 10,000 views. That's awesome. And then it was 20, and then it hit 50, and once it hit 100,000, I was like, oh my God, I have to do more of this character because people were messaging me and asking for more videos and more pictures and stuff. So I was like, I'll do it. And then my sister actually called me, and me and my sister are very close, but she called me and she was like, hey, and I was like, hey, how are you? She goes, when's the next Aunt Mary Pat video? And I was like, I'm doing fine, thanks for asking.
That's second
I need
hand.
more. I need more. Yeah, it was no longer about me. It was just about getting Mary Pat out there.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's nice to know you're okay, but let's get down to the basics. When's the character coming back?
Exactly.
So, in the beginning, well, in the beginning, of course, I said it was the Eagles winning the Super Bowl, so it's still kind of new. But you do a lot of characters. Tell some of you about some of the characters you get into, and are these people that you meet on a daily basis, or do you just kind of randomly come up with certain things from what you see?
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, my biggest inspiration are real life people. I love impersonating people. I love doing characters. So I study pop culture in a way that I'm always watching the news or watching TV shows, and